We're going to start today on our side. Just coming, it doesn't matter which side, we're going to just come onto the forearm. Bring your top leg up and back. Just warming up through the quad. And we're also warming up through the breath here too. Exhale when you bring in. Inhale when you lengthen back. Good. We're going to just take about 5 more breaths like this, and then we'll keep that leg back behind us and just stretch out through the quad. In 4, 3, 2. Okay, keep this leg behind you. And then just look down slightly. Try to stretch that leg out. Breathe into it. Try to focus your breath, breathing into your quad. And on your exhalation, bring this knee with you, and you're just going to sit up onto your seat bones, holding onto that same leg. Make sure you feel nice and grounded through your seat bones. Hug into the leg and start twisting to the direction of the bent knee. Look behind your shoulder. So you're looking behind that opposite shoulder. Twist and breathe into it. Try to twist even your eyeballs. Good. Another 2 deep breaths. And on your exhalation, we're just going to hug the other way. So this is going to be more like a heart opener. Same arm to knee. Look behind you. If that's super easy for you, you could bring your arm in front on the inside part of the leg. And then just twist. Even those eyeballs. Open up through the heart, through the chest. Good. 2 more deep breaths here. And on your exhalation, come back to center. This knee that's bent, keep it bent, open it up to the side. And then take your leg, that long leg, a little bit more out to the side. Reset through the seat bones. If you needed to, you could put a block under your knee. We're going to twist toward the bent knee. Inhale as you twist. Exhale, start coming down, reaching toward the long leg with your opposite hand foot. You're going to take a few of these. Inhale, twist toward the bent knee. Look behind your shoulder. Exhale, reach toward that foot with your opposite hand. Try to just start moving with the breath. Inhaling, twisting toward the bent knee. Exhaling, reaching toward that long leg. Just keep moving with the breath. Exhaling, reaching long leg. Inhale, twist toward bent knee. Good. We're going to take about 5 more. And then we're just going to stay toward that long leg. Good. And then stay toward this long leg. Keep reaching toward your foot if you can. If you can't even touch your foot, maybe you might need a strap here. And your opposite hand is on the ground pushing to help you. Good. 3 more deep breaths. And the exhalation, we're going to slowly unwind us. And we're just going to come to the other side. Repeating that same thing on our other side, starting with that top leg. So just point your head in the opposite direction. Top leg comes in and back. Good, about 3 more, and then we're just gonna stay with that leg behind us. And keep that leg behind you. Look down, try to straighten out that leg as you breathe into your quad and keep holding onto it. Good, 1 more deep breath. On the exhalation, bring that knee back into the chest. Keep it with you as you come up onto your seat bounds. And we're just gonna hook the right or the opposite elbow to knee and then twist behind us. Use your hand to help you. Try to just wring out that torso like it's a wet sponge. Straightening up through the spine. Good, 3 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, we're just coming to the other side. So use same arm to leg. Just hug onto it. Look behind you. If you wanted to, you could bring that arm in front. Good. Just on the inner thigh to deepen your twist. Good, 2 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, unwind back to center. Let that knee just open up onto the side and come to the ground. Reset onto your seat bones. Take that leg out to the side, the long leg out to the side. And we're going back into the breath work where we twist toward the bent knee and then lengthen toward the long leg. Inhale as you twist open, exhale as you reach. Really getting air into all parts of our lungs and then wringing it out. Good, just moving with our breath, whatever pace feels good for you. Maybe you're going slower or faster. About 3 more. Try to deepen your breath if you haven't already. Good, and the next time that you're reaching toward that long leg, see if you can touch your foot. Use a strap to help you if you need to, and that opposite hand can press onto the ground to help you. 5 deep breaths here. And on your exhalation, gently unwind it back to center. Take both soles of your feet together. Interlace your fingers around your toes and then wiggle so you come up as close as you can towards your heels. Keep your spine nice and straight and then go into your butterflies. Move your head if it feels good to just lengthen through your spine. thing you don't want to do is full head circles, but otherwise, just move your head as much as you want to make it feel like you're lengthening through your spine, working out any kinks. All right, and then we're gonna bring our spine back to neutral position. Bring those knees up by your arms, and then use your arms to press your legs down. And just stay in this fold for 5 deep breaths. Try to keep those shoulders away from your ears. Opening up through the inner thighs. Those arms are helping you. Okay, now start rounding your spine up. You can let the arms come off your legs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold down, and then use those arms to press. Think of rounding up, just like that cat type of motion. Inhale, lift up the chin. Exhale, fold into it. Inhale, rounding. Exhaling, folding. Good. Just at your own pace. Move with that breath. Good. And one more time, ending so that your spine is nice and straight. And then just come to a comfortable seated position. We're going to do a quick wrist work. So I want you to start taking your hands out and moving your fingers. Just like all the way through the fingers. And sit however is comfortable for you. Just stretching out through the fingers, moving through them, a little bit of movement through the wrist. Good. And now clench your fists, and we're gonna go down and up, down and up. Good. Clenching those fists, warming up through the wrists. Good. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then keeping those fists clenched, do little circles. Yeah. All right, and then go your other way. Good, and then just straighten your arms out, place them right in front of you, coming into a tabletop position. And just because we did that wrist work, I want you to really think about spreading those fingers out nice and wide, plugging in toward your index finger, that pointer finger. We're going to take a few cat-cows, rounding and arcing, moving through the spine. Make movements that feel good along the way, whatever feels good in your body. Good, and the next time that you come into your rounded spine, stay here a moment and just move around, whatever feels good. Big movements, little movements, really stretch out through the back body. Keep going, the belly button up towards your spine. And then as you feel guided, just go your other direction. And then coming back to center, curl your toes, take it into your downward facing dog. And just walk your dog, walk it out, make it feel good. Tuck that chin into your chest, open up through the shoulders, straighten up through the spine. All that weight is just gonna work in toward the seat bones, into your heels, into that lower part of your body. Good, keep breathing through it. And then put all the weight onto your right foot. Bend your left knee into your chest and then straighten it out. Bend it in, straighten out that left side. Plug all the weight onto your right foot. Good, just in and out motions, movements. About 5 more. And then the next time that you bring your knee in, open up toward the ceiling and close. Open it up and close. Open and close. Good, 3, 2, 1. Now bring this leg all the way up. We're gonna come into a pigeon. So bring that leg all the way up in front of you and then let your other leg go back. Try to take that leg behind you all the way across the midline of your body or in line with the midline of your body. And then when it feels good, relax your foot. We're gonna stay up in our high pigeon for a few moments. So start walking over toward your bent knee side and then over toward your foot side. A few of these movements, walking over one way to one side and then the other side. Good, just at your own pace. This is really warming up our hip before we actually take our pigeon pose. If you needed to, you could put a block under your hip on that left side. Good, take about 2 more each way. And then we're gonna come and find our center, high pigeon, and then just lower down and up. Bend the elbows in towards your ribs, up and down. Inhale up, exhale down. Two more. And then just stay up in this high pigeon, maybe even walk your hands back a little bit more. Lift up that chin and breathe. 5 deep breaths, then we'll come into our down pigeon with the extended arms. And on your exhalation, slowly just lower down, extend your arms nice and long in whatever way feels comfortable for you. Try to place your forehead onto a surface, whether that's your mat or a block. We're going to breathe here about 10 breaths. We'll be here about a full minute. As you get settled into this pose, maybe you can try to take that back right foot, curl the toe, and take it a little bit deeper over to the left side, if that feels good for you. And then start walking your hands toward the bent knee side. As far as comfortable for you, and then relax into it. And then walk them all the way over to the other side. If you wanted to, you could perch up onto your forearms or block, or come all the way down. And on your next exhalation, come back to center in high pigeon. We're gonna just lift up our hips slightly and come rock back onto your back knee. Start straightening your leg out in front of you. Lift up the toes, lean back into your hips as much as comfortable. You could come all the way back and sit onto your foot if you wanted to, or keep those hips up and just hold on to your foot with either your hand or strap. With the option to sit onto your heel, or you could be up higher off of your heel. Use a block to sit on if you want to. See if you can hold on the pinky toe side of your foot. We're going to breathe here another 5 deep breaths. Good, and on that exhalation, set your foot down in front of you, curl your toe behind you, lift your hips up, and then adjust your stance so that your foot is touching the ground, or your heels touching the ground on the backside. If you wanted to, you could have a block to hold on to, or just have your hands, so you might have a block if it's hard to touch the ground and hold on to the block, or just your hands onto the ground or your leg. Breathe here. Feel free to move in those hips to make them feel like you're really getting deep into the stretch. Good, one more deep breath. And then on your exhalation, I want you to take that foot that's in front of you and cross over your leg. So we're gonna come into a broken chair, putting all the weight onto your right foot. Left ankle crosses over. And then just sit into this. We're already nice and stretched out on this side because we just did our pigeon on this side. You might get a little bit lower than you normally can go, but still try to lift up your chest and just balance here. 5 more deep breaths. Look at something not moving. On your exhalation, we're gonna fully cross that left leg onto the ground. So our legs are crossed onto the ground and come into a forward fold here with those legs crossed. Right foot behind you, left foot in front of you. And start walking over to one side and the other side. Breathing as you move through this. The movement should help you get a little bit deeper into your stretch. Good, 2 more deep breaths. And walk your hands back out toward the top of your mat and your feet into a downward facing dog position. And just start walking your dog. Feel the difference between your legs. One is more stretched out than the other. When you're ready, put all the weight onto the left side. So we're doing our opposite side now. Bring your right knee in toward the chest and then extend out. In and out. Good, 2 more, then we're gonna keep that knee bent. 2, and the next time that knee is bent, keep it bent and open up to the ceiling and down. Open and down. Good, another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to bring this leg all the way up and start preparing for our pigeon. Slide that other leg back. Relax your foot. And then just start in your side to side, walking your hands over to the right and then the left. Good, just loosening up through those hips, through the low back. Just breathe as you move. Try to consciously loosen up through the hip flexor, the IT band. Good, about 5 more breaths here. And we're gonna stay into that high pigeon. And then coming into your high pigeon. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper now that we've moved up into this. And then just press your hands into the ground in line with your shoulders. Try to lift up that chin, 5 more deep breaths. And now we're gonna start moving with the breath, exhaling down, inhaling up. Good, 2 more. And then just stay in a low pigeon with your arms out as far as comfortable for you. Try to rest your forehead onto the mat or block and just surrender into this. Breathe, deep breaths. You can count your breath, or you can just relax and think about nothing. If you do want to focus on your breath, try to notice that space in between your inhalation and your exhalation. Try to consciously breathe into wherever you're feeling tension. Keep breathing, 5 more deep breaths. Now start walking your hands over toward the bent knee side. Good, 1 more deep breath here. And then walk all the way over to the other side, either perching up onto your forearms or extending out. And on your exhalation, walk it back to center. Start shifting your hips up so you can take your leg out in front of you. Remember, you have the option to just float up off the ground. You could put a block and sit onto your block, or you could come all the way and sit onto your foot. And then just try to reach towards your long leg. See if you can catch your pinky toe. We have 5 more deep breaths here. And on your exhalation, shift your hips back up if they weren't already. Curl that toe behind you. And we're just going to come into a triangle type position with the back foot flat onto the ground, toes pointed forward, And then just hug into that long leg. Use a block if you need to. It's more comfortable to rest onto the block. And then just little movements in your hips or just stretch into this. Let that stretch go all the way up into the hamstring. Breathe. Good. One more breath here. And then we're going to cross that right ankle over our left knee so we can come into our broken chair pose on this side. So it's right ankle, left knee. I don't know if I said that. And then bring those palms to your heart center. Sit low in that seat, look at something not moving. 5 breaths. Good, one more breath. And the exhalation fully crosses that front right leg over. Set your feet onto the ground. So we're in that forward fold position with our legs crossed, right foot in front. You can just stay and breathe here. Or if you wanted to, you could start moving over to one side and the other. Sometimes that helps to get a little bit deeper into the stretch or just whatever feels comfortable for you. The movement or just staying still in the breath. Good, one more deep breath. And then we're gonna walk our hands back out to the top of the mat and come into your down dog, either walking your dog or just holding your downward facing dog for 5 deep breaths, whatever feels good. Make sure your shoulders are open, your back is straight, fingers are wide, focusing the energy toward the seat bones, all the way into your heels. And on your next exhalation, start walking your hands back toward your feet. Hug into your legs with your feet about in line with your hip bones or even a little bit closer is okay. And start taking your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Use a strap if you need to. We're going to bend our elbows so our hands come all the way up behind your back and then straighten. Bend and straighten. Just a few of these dynamically warming up through the shoulders. My shoulders are a lot more tight than I thought they were now that I'm doing this. So this is a nice way to warm up before we hold our stretch. Keep breathing. 2 more. And then we're going to keep our arms long. Stay here, breathe. Tuck that chin into your chest, 5 deep breaths. And the exhalation releases our arms all the way onto the ground. Bend your knees and place your forearms onto the ground. And then start opening up through your hips, lowering down. Stay here, breathe. So we're in a frog type position. Think about frogging out your knees, opening up through the hip flexors. Put some kind of padding under your knees if you need to. And just go as low as comfortable for you. We have 10 deep breaths here, so take your time getting here and breathing into it, relaxing into it. Good. 2 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, slowly start finding that tabletop position again. Bringing your knees back in line with your hips. And then press back into an extended arm child's pose. Let your knees widen again if you want, if that feels good. And place that forehead onto a surface. Try to really focus on stretching out that low back. Lock it over to one direction with your option to stack your inside hand on the outside one. You can stack your hands if that feels good. And then move it all the way over to the other side with the option to stack your hand. And the exhalation brings it back to center. And make a little triangle shape with your hands. Place the crown of your head onto the ground. Lift up your hips in your hair pose. And just try to put a little bit of weight onto the crown of your head. Here's where some people, they practice their headstand, and you could even try that with balancing your legs onto your forearms. One more breath. And the exhalation is going to slowly take us out. Take your legs back out in front of you. Find the center of your mat. We're going to start preparing for our Savasana. So make yourself into a tight little ball, balancing here if you can. And then release your hands from your legs if you can, and then squeeze your fists, squeeze your feet, squeeze, squeeze. We're going to squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it into Savasana. Take a big deep breath and make a sigh. Just relaxing your energy, letting it seep into the earth, connect into the sky. Focusing on your breath, feeling that space in between your inhalation and exhalation. Begin making small little movements, whatever feels good for you. When you're ready, bring the knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug. And then rock yourself up into a seated position. Comfortable seated position. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist one leg. Keep twisting and exhaling. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, twist the other way. Let's take one more each side. Inhale the breath up. Exhale, twist the breath out. Inhaling up. Exhale, twist it out. And inhale, reaching it up. Palms touch at the top. Exhale into your heart center. Namaste.